Hello lovely people. Today what I want to talk about is a bit of an interesting topic, but I think a lot of people go through this. Today we're talking about being triggered, specifically being triggered by other people. It's actually a really amazing thing and beneficial to you if you know how to handle it. So in your life, many people would have come across situations in which people trigger you in various ways. It could be your partner, your boss, friends, or family members, or it could be a random person driving on the same road that you are driving on. Now, whoever this person is, they can trigger you in various ways. Say for example, it could be your partner that did not give you a kiss when you wanted one, or the random person on the road that cuts you up in traffic that triggers you. Whatever the case is, your perception of reality is what ultimately can trigger you. Now, you would notice what triggers you may not trigger anybody else. I have had situations where I triggered people without me knowing, yet I wasn't doing anything wrong. And vice versa, I was triggered by people myself, and yet they were not doing anything wrong. So why do we get triggered? In a nutshell, we as human beings have a mechanism within us in which whenever there is a stimulus, we essentially respond to the stimulus. Now understand that there's a gap of time between the response and the stimulus, okay? Now, when we say triggered, we usually mean we have a negative response to the stimulus, or in this case, a negative response to the interaction with people. Now, the response is based on essentially belief systems and memory. Let me use a simple example for bird chirping. So if you have experienced birds chirping and you find that you were feeling great, you usually respond to birds chirping as a good thing always. Whereas someone else could experience birds chirping as a bad thing, so their response would be negative. For example, the birds woke them up from sleeping and they were really tired. So whenever in the future they hear birds chirping, they will feel either good or bad about the birds. Now the same applies with regards to belief systems, but that's a bit more complicated. I want to share with you my experience in something that I'm actually working on right now. That's essentially the belief of unworthiness. This belief I have been carrying from the time I've been a child and unknowingly carried it into adulthood. Actually, many people have this belief within them as well, and most likely was instilled from childhood between the ages of 0 to 7 years. Now this is a belief where you can get triggered in many ways, and the universe can show you belief in many ways, such as wealth, or good relationships, or lack of support in general. People usually will come into your life to take advantage of you in many ways. I want to give you an actual example in my life with my job and my employer. I always worked hard at my job and did it diligently and professionally, and surprisingly other people on my team used to always get more credit for the work. Now that used to trigger me tremendously, and I used to get upset and angry towards my team and my boss. I was essentially triggered by them. Now did they do anything wrong? No. But because of my perception and my belief of unworthiness, I would always end up working harder to earn a living, whereas someone else could come in and do half the work and get double the salary. This was a pure reflection of my inner state and what I believed, and it triggered me because ultimately I am worthy and deserving of all good things in life, and so is everyone else. So the universe brought these people to reflect that, so I can put effort into that and change it. Make sense? Again, the people that will come will not even think that they are doing anything wrong, and most likely they're not. But because we see people show us this, or rather reflect this unworthiness, we get triggered. So coming back to the purpose of this video, is that when people trigger you, it ultimately means an aspect of you needs healing. And you need to investigate what needs healing and focus your energy into that. Because you would be complete if no healing was required. And the thing that particular person did to trigger you, they won't do it anymore. Or it won't trigger you anymore. Also, be grateful for the people that trigger you, as they are bringing these emotions to the surface and ultimately helping you along your spiritual healing and growth. The only thing that you have to do is, when these things start happening, feel the emotion and let it go, and accept the lessons of life that you learned in the process. It's an absolutely divine process when you come out of it, but I know when you are in it, it's horrible. But keep trusting that all is well and working out in your favor, and be grateful that the universe is so powerful to bring someone in your life to heal you without anyone knowing that they are. Just be aware that this is happening and you will surely grow. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to get back to you, and please like and subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching.